It is April 27, 2017. This is the pre-draft meal consisting of hot stuff, pepperoni sausage pizza, a little Hank's root beer. Dolphins picking in the Tony Nathan spot tonight, number 22. It's been cold this week. Great night to just be in, watching to see the future Hall of Famer for the Miami Dolphins. Draft night. Love it.
No one makes it to the stage on their own. The family whose name you now carry upon your shoulders are the people who carried you on this journey. This moment is as much about where you've been as where you are headed tonight. Think back to how it all began. That first pass, that first pair of cleats. Whether it's the name you were given, the name you carry forward, or the name you pass on when you are called tonight, it'll be more than just your name being announced before the world. It will be the names of all the people who got you there. But never forget, it was you who carried us.
This is the 2017 NFL Draft.
And let the circus begin. On a beautiful April night in Philadelphia, the Ben Franklin Parkway is packed, and anticipation for football fans everywhere is at an all-time high as the
TJ Watt, I'm calling it right now, Dolphins, Wisconsin outside linebacker, number 22.
Strong, here to find out where their team will go to make their team better in an April night, which is the unofficial opening to the start of the 2017 regular season. And we here at ESPN are unbelievably excited and happy to share it here with you inside the NFL.
Getting majorly overdrafted. I have 4 defensive players at the top of the board, led by Myles Garrett, defensive end, Texas A&M, and Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman, Alabama, Jamal Adams, safety, LSU, and then Solomon Thomas, defensive lineman from Stanford. Then I have some offensive players like O.J. Howard, tight end, Alabama, and Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette, the 2 running backs. But the quarterbacks will be overdrafted.
All I know is Philadelphia is one of the greatest football towns on the planet. 80,000 people to see Mel Kiper. Maybe like 75,000.
No kidding. You know what? I'm looking at the specialty draft.
Come on, Philly, come on. There you go.
We are thrilled to be back here in Philadelphia, where the first draft was held nearly 80 years ago. So tonight, we celebrate the great game that we all love, and we celebrate as NFL dreams come true. So it sounds like you're ready. Are you ready? The NFL Draft for 2017 is officially open. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock.
Underway, and the Cleveland Browns are on the clock, and they've had their struggles since they came back into the league in 1999. They find themselves at the top of the draft position, and it's not been great.
In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Myles Garrett, defensive end, Texas A&M.
DP, your team is on the clock.
As many picks as possible. This is a move that was worth 400 points on the draft chart. The Bears come up to number 2.
Ooh.
The player they've been eyeing all along has been Solomon Thomas from Stanford. The 49ers now get to move back. And if they have their druthers, they're not done moving back just yet. They're open for business. Listen.
Papa Bear, here we go. Who is it? Who is it, Papa Bear? You know it.
With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Carolina.
Mike Glennon? No. They didn't see that coming. You remember Scott Mitchell? This is Mitchell Trubisky. DP, there's your future.
Just got interesting. Mitchell Trubisky, hometown Mentor, Ohio.
Wow.
30 miles outside of Cleveland, was a Mr. Football there. Went to North Carolina, sat behind Marquise Williams for a few years.
Talk about a quarterback, Ray. He only started 13 games in his career. I thought he needed to go back for another season. What does that quarterback need? He needs time. With Mike Glennon there as the starting quarterback coming from Tampa Bay. A lot of people like coming into that program thinking he could be an effective starting quarterback. Now Mitchell Trubisky is afforded the opportunity to learn, watch Glennon, not be forced to be the guy, because then he might have been a bust and it would have been probably overwhelming for Trubisky to be forced to compete for the starting job. Now I wouldn't say just redshirt, but certainly learn. And you look at the skill set of Mitch Trubisky, he has the necessary arm strength, very underrated mobility, and he was in the majority of the games this year very accurate, not only in the short intermediate areas, but down the field. The struggles against Stanford was alarming in that Sun Bowl. It was the last time we saw him in pads, but Stanford physically dominated. Solomon Thomas had the great game. That was the one game that I think put him in a red flag along that name and said, boy, he needs another year. What the Bears are counting on. Remember, they made this move. Cleveland did not make that move. The Bears did. Cleveland's sitting there now still thinking about who's my quarterback going to be. I think for Glennon to be the quarterback, it's an ideal situation, John, for Mr. Trubisky.
Well, when I spent time with
Here's the crap and wets. I hope they take the tight end. He'd be worthless. Take the tight end. Take the tight end.
NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jamal Adams.
Oh.
Defensive back, LSU.
Jeez. I hope he's
as expected when we saw the phone call.
poor.
It's Jamal Adams. Now we mentioned
A little break from the draft to come and get some shed action in. Get the door on here. Kevin's going to help me drill some holes, put that door on. Just got it painted this past week, Monday actually. It's nice and warm, and then the cold weather hit. It's been in the 40s. It snowed yesterday morning for a little bit. It is 8:56 on this draft night. Kevin and I got the door on without many issues there. Time to go inside, see who the Miami Dolphins are picking to help get them to the Super Bowl. Omar Kelly posted, this draft couldn't be going better for the Dolphins. And there's up here, Armando Salguero, 43 seconds ago, said, so no way Charles Harris, Reuben Foster, and Jared Davis can all be picked by the time the Dolphins pick. At least two will be on the board. So, loving it. 10,000 Dolphin fans in attendance at Joe Robbie Stadium. And then Adam Beasley said 54 minutes ago, Derek Barnett might be there at 22. The Dolphins would sprint to the podium to turn in the card if he is. I don't think he is. Right now we're at pick number 20 is about ready to be announced by the Broncos. And then it's the Lions, and then come the Dolphins. By the way, Derek Barnett went at number 14, so he is off the board. Rashad Jones in Joe Robbie Stadium getting some autograph signing in.
It was a really great experience being down in South Florida.
Worst rushing offense in the last 2 seasons. You see it right there. Would lead you to believe that one of those running backs has got to be.
Live from Joe Robbie Stadium. Draft party.
Dalvin Cook right here.
Just brought up Delvin Cook. Actually, the Dolphins are on the clock. The Detroit Lions pick is in here at 21.
Well, he'll have opportunities that you could never have dreamed of. A self-destruction.
And just I like that.
Oh, they're going to go linebacker. You know, I got to think it's Reuben Foster. You know, Davis from Florida is a very close second. It all depends on what flavor they like. They like the speed guy that goes.
Omar Kelly. 5 minutes ago, Dolphin options: Reuben Foster, Delvin Cook, David End, T. McKinley, Charles Harris, Forrest Lamp. Not hearing anything about Watt here. I'd be wrong again for another year, but that's the usual.
There is Foster. Gary and Conley, we all know, is in trouble with the law, or at least potentially in trouble with the law in the state of Ohio. DJ, you have the floor right here.
Well, I think Mike's bringing up an interesting point on Reuben Foster, and I'm sure there's some people at home that are wondering, is this about the diluted sample at the combine? Is this a drug-related thing? And I do not think it is. I think this is 100% what Mike's talking about. This would be a medical concern. With the teams I talked to about the diluted samples we had at the combine, with Jabril Peppers as well as with Reuben Foster,
Detroit pick is in.
All right, so let's go to the podium and end the suspense. Who is the latest member of the Detroit Lions?
Will it be Reuben Foster?
With the 21st pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jared Davis, linebacker, Florida.
Reuben Foster.
I guess we front-loaded the discussion there.
Reuben Foster. Here we go, baby. Alex, you're getting who you wanted.
Davis missed a lot of time this year.
Late tonight.
Rich, two teams I'm told are trying like crazy to trade up. Now, first of all, the Atlanta Falcons all the way back in the draft. They've been talking to teams all the way up before them. A potential target here
is
Evan Ingram.
Is Charles Harris the pick here, the defensive end? He's saying it's a blessing, it's an honor to be picked by the Dolphins. It looks like the Dolphins are not going Reuben Foster.
With 5 minutes to go, they're halfway through that. Let's now go to the podium again. The commissioner has the 22nd overall pick that's been sitting there in the freezer for a few minutes after the Lions made the pick. The Dolphins went ahead and chose, and we're about to hear who the latest member of the Miami Dolphins is. Let's go to the podium here back in Philadelphia with the commissioner.
Here we go. Pick is in.
The 22nd pick in the 2017 NFL
Charles Harris.
The Miami Dolphins select Charles Harris, defensive end, Missouri.
Ooh. What's the good on him?
He's going to be sacked.
Charles Harris, defensive end.
Hit sack ball free. Missouri's got it.
Two-time second team All-SEC selection.
Really solid pick here. Charles Harris, almost 6'3", 253 pounds. Missouri literally recruited him off a playground watching him play basketball. I think he can play 4 down or a 34 outside linebacker. In Miami, it's 4 down. He's got real good get off. Here's a little bull rush. Gets under the Tennessee left tackle and jacks him back into the quarterback. Big hit. Charles Harris has a good first step. Explosive off the edge. He runs the arc, and you can see he can bend. Watch this move right here. A little rip with the hands. Really good hand usage against the tackles. The get off again. Watch the spin against Sharp from Florida.
Ooh.
Like Sharp is standing still. That left
Think of what Cam Wake will do for him.
There's the spin against West Virginia. This young man is adept as a pass rusher. Somebody's taught him real well at Missouri. That was the highest need Miami had, and that's a real good pick by the Dolphins.
The Giants just made their selection, which is why they're beginning to boo here.
As stated, he comes from a program that produces a lot of big-time pass rushers, but it's all about the edge, Lewis. This man can get off, and he can get
all right, Charles.
A lot of his money winning on the edge, and that's what sets up that speed rush. Because these offensive tackles, they overset. They're looking for the speed, and there comes that beautiful spin rush that he has perfected. He is a liability, I think, right now against the run. He's got to recognize draws. He's got to smell out screens. He's got to improve at the point of attack. But he's got 2 great veteran players to learn from. He's got Cameron Wake and They just signed William Hayes, a very good free agent, so he's in a great position as a third end.
Yeah, this guy is a tremendous athlete. You see him here, they put him through linebacker drills at the combine, and he caught the ball like a tight end. I mean, this is a guy who can stand up in a two-point. He can play Sam Backer if you needed him to. He can put his hand out. He can be a joker. They can move him all over the place. And John, you just mentioned the fact that he has a great mentor and a guy like Cam Wake to learn from. And look, I'll tell you this. Chuck Smith, the former defensive end of the Atlanta Falcons, who's a former teammate of mine, worked with Charles Harris pre-draft, and he told me this. That spin move that you showed, he said that will rival Dwight Freeney's when it's all said and done, except that this guy is bigger and longer. That caught my attention right there. They've got tremendous value right here in a guy who can put heat on the pass.
The hat is on. Chewbacca is happy that he's going to Miami. The draft rolls on. Stay with us.
Chewbacca or Sasquatch. It's a blessing. It's an honor. Charles Davis said, I have to take advantage of this being a first-round pick for the Dolphins. Love hearing that. Love hearing that. Lots of sacks in 91. Jeff Cross. Just reading through some of these Twitter comments Charles Harris has made tonight. He said, I don't care what the number is. I'm going to make my name shine. Harris talking about what number he'll wear. He said, I was a 0 star in high school. I didn't care about ranking or nothing to this day. To be drafted, I'm going to ball. Harris said, I'm a baller. I know I am. I'm going to work hard. I'm a baller. I just feel it. He didn't even take a visit to Miami. Chris Greer said, that was kind of a head fake. They did that on purpose. They had him targeted at 22 a month ago, did the Dolphins. And some teams offered to trade up, but the Dolphins did not listen.
You've had some father figures in your life, and another one with the
McKinley
Atlanta Falcons.
did it for his grandma. I like that guy.
He recruited you at UCLA, and now he's a linebackers coach for the Falcons. And I know he stood on the table.
Came out of Oakland.
Trying to get them to draft you. What are you looking forward to there?
Hey, it's simple. Get to the quarterback. It's that simple. Get to the quarterback.
Tackle, Wisconsin.
Final pick of the first round. It's dark outside. It is Friday night. Mac is about 15 minutes out of Millbank. Rounds 2 and 3 tonight. They're talking about the
and Hayes. How does Charles
player the Dolphins chose last night.
Charles Harris.
I think the type of player we drafted was one we've always targeted, is the guys that love football. He's an explosive athlete. He had great traits as a pass rusher. So as we talk, it's a position you can never have enough players at. And again, as we got to know the kid, and this guy loves football again, and you've heard us talk about that the last year and a half, and that's what we're looking for. So we're very excited to have him.
That's my main thing. Gotta love football, Ray Lewis style. Great to have Charles Harris as a Miami Dolphin. Vikings just picked Delvin Cook instead of Joe Mixon. Good job, Minnesota Vikings. Smart pick. Delvin Cook will be much better, much more productive than a Joe Mixon. Right?
Yank draft. The Chicago Bears select Adam Shaheen, tight end, Ashland.
All right, so it's DJ's guy. And what a neat moment right there. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital depends on all donations to make.
This is Beaten TV. It says the Dolphins are on the clock, and Omar Kelly said the Dolphins have selected Ohio State's Raekwon McMillan, an intelligent inside linebacker. So we'll see. We'll see if that's who the Dolphins pick, if they take a linebacker. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Dolphins on the clock. Dolphins are on the clock, it says. They're going to pick pretty quick here. Max being so nice and patient here. Love this boy. Love this boy. Oh, here it comes. Is this Larry Little Who we got?
To announce the Miami Dolphins selection, please welcome from Bethune-Cookman University,
Larry Little.
1993 Hall of Fame inductee, guard Larry Little.
All right, 66. Here we go. Here's the Dolphins, Mac. Yep.
17-0, baby. 44 and counting.
You got it, Larry.
With the 54th pick of the 2017
It's gonna say Dolphins.
NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Raekwon McMillan, Ohio State.
Ooh.
First of all, Larry Little with the mic drop right there. 17-0, baby, 44 and counting. And you want to talk about a player who just makes plays? It's Raekwon McMillan, the linebacker for Ohio State. 2 years in a row, leading tackler for the Buckeyes. Team captain for the Buckeyes.
Ooh, team captain. Woo, I'm excited. He's going to play for the Dolphins.
Started in highly productive. You know, every time I watch tape,
See, it's this guy right here.
he is a big, physical, run-stuffing, I think maybe a great tackler, I would define him as, and he kept getting better. He came in as his 5-star recruit, everyone putting pressure on him early, and then he started to deliver his sophomore year, and this past year I thought he had his best.
Raekwon McMillan.
Coverage limitations, Mel, but you are getting a tough guy in the middle of your defense.
That's the thing. You know, can he be an every down player with those coverage issues? He's not a guy who's going to get after the quarterback in a big play, going to after the quarterback against Michigan. That was a back end during the course of his career on the games I saw on tape. So is he a little too one-dimensional for today's NFL, where they're throwing it all over the yard? This would have been a great pick, I think, back in 1985, 95 now.
Can you? Oh yeah, you got the football. You're all fired up. Can you clap for Raekwon McMillan? Give me a clap. Give me a Mac clap. Give me a Mac clap. Yeah. All right. All right. Woohoo! Football. Send him in. Easy. That's Matt Cantine. It is getting late. The Dolphins pick is in. I'm going to read you a book here in a second.
The Eagles again and the Titans. That's next.
You ready for a book? Look at you dance on a Friday night.
You got my back, right?
Get up there and I will.
Passionate about perfecting designs by hand. Because
Round 3, pick 97. Pick is in.
Mazda CX-5.
Allowed 4.84 yards per rush. Franchise worse than 68. Look at the running back, Mr. Gowers. Samaje Perine. Still on the board. What are the Dolphins going to do?
In the third round.
Whoops.
Piper, wasn't it easier when you had your own book? You can see it. The book's right here. No. The book's right there. Let's be clear. Old school. The book's right there. Don't pretend like it's not, because we know that's how you get through it. Look, this has been a spectacular. It's Miami though, up to make the selection. Let's listen in.
Here we go, Mac. Here's the Dolphins.
To announce the Miami Dolphins selection, please welcome from the University of Wisconsin, wide receiver
Troy.
Chris Chambers.
This is number 84, Mr. Chambers.
With the 97th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select
Who they picking?
for Dre Tankersley, DB, Clemson.
Did I mention a run on cornerbacks? It continues. It's unbelievable.
National champion.
In the first 3 rounds, and I look at a guy like Dre Tankersley. I thought better 2 years ago this past season in coverage, up and down. He's beaten more than you want to see. Gets grabby, which doesn't work in the NFL. Get away with some of that in college, where they don't throw penalty flags as readily as they do in the NFL. Decent awareness, decent anticipation. He's aggressive enough to make some tackles, but he doesn't always break down properly. I was underwhelmed, Todd, this year with Dre Tankersley.
I was too.
what he needs to do, man. He needs to play up at the line of scrimmage, so where he doesn't have to read patterns from off. Because when he's reading from off, he doesn't know what to look at. His vision gets lost. Then what winds up happening is when you're looking at too many things, you don't really see anything because you don't really know what you're supposed to look at. And then the last resort is to grab people and hold them. He's going to get called for a ton of PIs in the NFL if he doesn't clean that kind of thing.
You know, it's interesting. His best coverage came against tight ends, I thought. He did a great job when I started the tapes against Virginia Tech, Bucky Hodges, Cole Hicatini for Louisville.
Hey, about over, bud. You okay with that pick? Me too. They're being critical, but
Different matchup pieces. Tankersley may fit that bill. Arizona now with the pick.
What Urban Meyer's been able to do with their recruiting, right? I mean, their ability to project what guys will go into the NFL, where to place them, how to develop players has really been remarkable, especially looking at the last 2 or 3 drafts.
Again, 3 players from the Big Ten taken in the second round, combined with the 7 from the first, that's 10. But it would go up to 19 total by the time the 3rd round came to a close. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, what happened in that 3rd round?
Caught up on a couple of things and some picks going through here in the 5th round, including Curious.
Matt Milano's taken. Dolphins are coming up next.
252 pounds with long arms, huge hands, ran 4.69 at the combine this past year. Tied for 2nd among
Did not have a 4th rounder.
4 touchdown receptions, 380 yards receiving, 5th in receptions.
Looking for a guard, I would imagine.
Yards in 7 of 12 games.
The tight end that's still on the board, surprisingly.
Guard.
I thought he had better tape, let's put it that way.
All right, so we move on, and there's another pick off the board, and that's Tennessee taking Jayon Brown, the outside linebacker from UCLA.
Brown played special
Isaac.
teams and sparingly.
Been up.
During OTAs out on the field, will compete in training.
There's a way that I did my back.
For a while, and hopefully he'll pick up some.
Lexa, what time is it?
It's 3:15 p.m.
2 seasons, the Houston Texans have won the AFC South the last 2 seasons, largely in part because of that defense. You guys had the #1 defense in the NFL last year, and that was
phase 2.
Jeez, back-to-back defensive tackles.
Condition, and you know he's a
Vincent
part of the
Taylor.
group there on defense that's working extremely hard.